All right, boys, today on the Fumble Forecast, we're going to talk about the eulogy of the Eagles versus the 49ers. They got spanked, and it was depressing. T-Law is out, and Zach Wilson might be the biggest baller I have ever seen in the league. Find out now on the Fumble Forecast. All right, so welcome to the Fumble Forecast. I'm Thomas, and here's my co-host, Mark. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff today. Especially focusing on the Eagles-49ers game, because let's be real, I am an Eagles fan, but that was the game of the week, the NFC matchup.
Championship rematch.
It did not go how I expected it to. I expected it to be a really, really close game, but it wasn't. The Eagles got their pants absolutely spanked off. They got so spanked, as a matter of fact, that I decided to sit and do about 2 hours of film study. I watched the same plays over and over and over again on the All-22 Coaches film. So I have a lot of comments about the offensive scheme that the Eagles are trying to run. The first thing that I really pulled away from watching the film is that every single play, almost, all of the Eagles receivers are running 15 to 25 yards down the field. There is nobody who's in a small little check down that Jalen can just flick to really fast. They are all down the field. Like, these are all mid to long passes that Jalen is being forced to check every single play. Who's open? And another thing, you can't really see it when you're watching the live broadcast, and this is an advantage of watching it on the All-22 film. So it shows you a better angle. You get to zoom out and you get to see where all the receivers are, right? There's no separation between the receivers and the CBs at all. I don't know what they're doing, but they are not getting any separation. Every single time, it is like they are wearing the defender as a blanket. Every play. It's not even close. Like, even on the plays where Jalen is forcing it into the receiver's hands, they're still wearing them like a blanket. Like, it's just obscene how well they were covered. And I actually don't think it was the receiver's fault, and I don't think it was Jalen's fault. I actually think that it was just simply the play calling. So typically when you design a play in the NFL, right, you're going to put your wide receivers at different distances in order that you want them to throw to. So you pick your number one receiver, and then they check 2, and then they check 3, and then they might check a check down if there is a check down. In this case, most of our plays don't even have a check down. Jalen's just forced to zoom it all the way down the field every single play if he wants to even try and throw it at all, which is why you see him running for his life every single play. The wide receivers aren't open. They're super far down the field, and they have to do these plays every single play that's called that are these really long developing plays that just do not work well when you have a D-line like the 49ers that are going to breathe down your neck. Well, like, sure, we definitely had the best O-line in all of football. I don't think there's any arguments there. And last night, on Sunday night, they played flawlessly. The O-line was probably the best O-line play that I've seen in my life. You don't often see a D-line of the caliber of the 49ers get held back for 8 seconds on some of these plays where Jalen he just has forever to throw the ball. And even on those plays where he has forever to throw the ball and it's these long developing plays, he still cannot find an open receiver because they are not open. They aren't there. The opportunity is not there unless he wants to force the ball into either double coverage or through a jump route. So for those of you who don't know, a jump route is when you have a defender, normally a back in the middle of the field or back in the end of the field, who is specifically set up to jump in front of a receiver who might be running a path across the field. They're designed so here's your receiver, here's the jump guy over here. The ball is going to come right here. As the ball gets closer, he jumps the route and hits the ball. Most of the time, if a jump route is executed correctly, it results in an interception by the defense. In this case, Jalen was smart enough to realize whenever there was a jump route that there was a jump route, and he chose not to throw it in that position. But even in the cases where there isn't a jump route, the wide receiver isn't getting any separation at all. If I feel like editing a whole lot, I'll include somewhere in here like a little clip or something from the game. But dude, it was really bad. All of these plays take way too long to develop, and one of the key features of this offense is lacking, that most offenses have, is that there isn't any safety valve. So normally you might have a running back or a tight end run a really short route, a really flat route off to the side or across the middle. They don't have that in any of these plays. It seems to me like Brian Johnson's entire scheme is he'll just throw it deep. That's all there is to it. He either throws it deep or I think his goal is to have the receivers go so deep that all of the D-backs on the 49ers defense are way back there guarding the receivers, and Jalen can just break it off if he needs to and run forward, which might work in some cases when you're playing a team that's mediocre or bad, but when you're playing against a team like the 49ers that is really, 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 really good, especially on their defense, they're going to sniff it out right away. They have somebody spying him. They aren't dumb. They have speed on their side when it comes to their backs. Like, I don't think they really have the power that teams like the Eagles do, for example, in our D-line. I don't think they have the power, but they definitely have the speed to actually execute their scheme. And I think that that's kind of where the Eagles fall short, because they don't have safety valves. These plays take forever to develop. And then they also have a spy on Jalen Hurts, so he can't run away or scramble, which is one of the biggest strengths of the team. And that's probably why Brian Johnson was trying to stretch the field so far. But at the same time, you got to give the guy at least a chance. There was multiple plays in my film review that I saw where a receiver ran. Oh, so they have three receivers, right? A three receiver look plus tight end and running back. And they had all of the receivers run at least 20 yards up the field. And then some of them would just stand there. They wouldn't try to get open. They were just standing there and like looking around at the end of their route. They weren't even trying. Like the D-back is just standing there like looking at them like, what? Okay, all right, whatever. You want to just stand there? Fuck it. So yeah, it's kind of abysmal. But I don't want to pin this all on the wide receivers and Brian Johnson, because Jalen had a couple of missteps himself. So in the second drive of the game, going down into the red zone, Jalen Hurts multiple times, two specifically that I counted, had a wide open Devonta Smith in the end zone. Like, and I mean wide open, like I could have made this throw, and I ain't good. Just heave it over to him. He's right over here in the end zone. Like, it's not even like it would have been an out of bounds, like 50-50 shot. He was open, standing in the center of the end zone. It wasn't even close. It was honestly bizarre to me how he missed it, and kind of concerning actually, because it seems like normally when quarterbacks make that kind of mistake, it's because they're a little spooked. They're worried. They're scared that something's going to happen if they throw the ball up there like that. There wasn't somebody in a jump route to stop the ball. The dude just blew his coverage. So in one of these specific cases, the corner who was on Devonta Smith just fell. And Devonta Smith was just wide open. Like, this dude is literally flat on his face. He got burned by Devonta Smith. And Jalen just completely misses it and like goes down. It was extremely bizarre and very weird that he missed that one, because normally he doesn't miss ones like that. All right. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about our defense. I got a lot to talk about here. That's why I'm trying to condense it for you and make it go a little bit quick. So one of the things that I noticed about the Eagles defense is that they just cannot stop the middle and the deep when a burner is involved. And when I say a burner, I mean if they have a receiver who can quickly get down the field, he will be open if it's against the Eagles defense. Across the middle and over the top, burners just absolutely light the Eagles up. They're just too slow. I don't know how else to put this. I'm probably not faster, so I won't say that, but they are too slow. They can't cover these super fast guys. And honestly, it kind of surprises me that Tyreek Hill didn't absolutely finesse the shit out of them when they played the Dolphins, because in this game, you saw Deebo Samuel just absolutely light a torch on them. So I find it bizarre that Tyreek Hill couldn't, but it's very clear to me now at this point that over the top and through the middle with a fast receiver is how you beat the Eagles. I think the 49ers just kind of showed the entire league on Sunday how you beat the Eagles. You throw it over the middle and you throw it over the top. However, and I guess the Eagles agree with my film study analysis here because they just picked up Shaq Leonard. He's going to be playing middle linebacker for the Eagles. That's going to really shore up their middle a lot. And they also picked up the safety, Byard the third. I think that they agree with my assessment that their backs are weak. So I think that what we've seen throughout the entire season is we've seen the Eagles oh my God, Jesus Christmas. We've seen the Eagles defense outperform and finesse the shit out of offenses. Not because their backs are super good, but because our D-line is just that good. We rush the quarterback so fast that they can't do long developing plays. And when you have a D-line that can slam dunk the quarterback that quickly, it covers up the weaknesses in the back because they can't get the ball off fast enough to expose the weakness. However, in this case, Purdy, he releases that shit in like 1.5 seconds in some of these passes. And he just has a better offensive scheme to work with. He has checkdowns, he has safeties, he has guys over the middle, and he has a guy deep on almost every single play because they're fast as fuck. This is exactly the situation that I was worried about when they got rid of CJGJ. I think that CJ Gardner-Johnson was a huge overlooked component of this team's defense. I think that without him, we just look so squishy in the middle. Like, it's like when Smog got shot by the arrow right in the empty scale. It's ridiculous how weak they are in the center. And honestly, when he was on the team, we weren't that weak in the center. He was slapping balls down left and right, and we let him go. And that was a huge misstep that I'm going to hang on Howie Roseman for letting him walk, because I think that was just unacceptable overview of a talent that we should have really tried our hardest to hang on to versus trying to hang on to Darius Slay, who is an extremely good cornerback. I'm not trying to knock him, but I think that he's more close to the end of his career than CJGJ is. And I think that you can pick up corners. You know what I mean? Like, you can find a corner somewhere to cover up the slot. He might not be as good as Darius Slay is, but I'd rather have somebody that makes it so that they can't eat us alive in the middle. And the reason I would prefer to have somebody who makes it so they can't eat us alive over the middle is because our D-line is so heavily invested in. If you have a really expensive D-line that is really good at getting to the quarterback, the only thing that you have to worry about is them hitting you with the quick passes over the middle and the side. Right? I mean, they can't go super far down the field if the D-line is already in their face. So why wouldn't you invest the extra money in the middle of the field to cover those kind of short plays? It would have just favored our scheme a lot better. I don't know. Another thing that I noticed is that Jalen Hurts has literally zero faith in the backup tight end. He has none. He literally cocked the trigger sometimes to an almost open tight end. I think he's the third or the fourth stringer tight end. And he put his arm back down. He chose not to fire because he has no faith that this guy can catch the goddamn ball. Zero faith that the tight end could catch the ball at all. And it was kind of bizarre. Another thing I want to say is that the refs are horrible for both teams. The officiating in this game it's just strange to me in the NFL how 1 week they'll call breathing on somebody the wrong way as a penalty. But then another week, you can literally just grab people by the throat and slam dunk them into the ground and they won't call it. It's just extremely bizarre to me, the different levels of officiating that you see game to game. And I understand that they're different ref teams. They have different eyeballs. They have different opinions. I get it. But at the same time, I think the league needs to do a much better job of standardizing the officiating across every game, because that's what makes the game fair. and fun to watch. If it's not fair, it's not fun to watch, right? Like, you're just kind of watching a WWE match if the officiating isn't good. Another thing, our corners just straight up got beat. Just torched. Absolutely torched. Bradbury got torched. Slay got torched. Everyone got torched. It wasn't even close. Everyone was torched. Roby, torched. Everyone torched. It was disgusting. Oh, God, I needed to refuel here. I'm a little bit angry. I even have in my notes here, I just have, please, we need LBs. Please give us LBs. Oh, my God, please give me somebody who can tackle. Because all they did was bounce off of Deebo Samuel like bullets. They just bounced right off of him because they kept trying to go for body tackles where you slam your shoulder lightly into people instead of gripping his ass up at the waist and slam dunking him head first into the ground. I don't understand. Where the fuck were the coaches? Okay, I understand if you're doing that in the first half. Okay, fine, whatever. But when you come out of the locker room for the second half, the coaches had to have fucking screamed in your face about that to wrap your goddamn arms around them when you tackle them. That's literally the first thing you learn about tackling is to wrap your goddamn arms around the other player so that you can bring him down. How is this so difficult? I don't understand. I get that he's like one of the best receivers in football, and he's elusive as shit, and he's fast. Hit him. There were multiple times where they literally had him and just let him go. They just bounced right off of him, just like a volleyball being served. It was ridiculous. Oh my God. I got a lot, man. They just forgot how to tackle. I don't understand. Just use your goddamn hands, man. I just don't get it. But yeah, and the 49ers offense, like the scheme, it just completely outclassed us by making the D-line irrelevant. Our D-line just may as well have not even showed up to play on the field on Sunday because they were so... The 49ers took all of our strengths and nullified them. They nullified our strength in our D-line by making it so that the passes came out as quick as possible. There you go. That exposes our DBs who were not able to keep up because they are not fast enough. The Eagles need more speed, which I think they added in Shaq Leonard. I think he's actually going to be a really good pickup. They exposed our wide receivers by blanketing the shit out of them and trying to get to Jalen as fast as possible by making it so that he can't just run off on QB sneaks. And I will say, the 49ers D did a really good job. They actually had a really good scheme. They set up so many traps for Jalen Hurts, and this really attests a testament to Jalen Hurts. He didn't fall for any of them. He didn't fall for any of the traps because a lesser quarterback with these traps on the field that I saw from the 49ers defense would have thrown 4 interceptions in this game. So I really don't hang this one on Jalen at all. Sure, he did hold the ball for a really long time at some points, but to be completely fair, the scheme sucked and the receivers weren't open, but I think the receivers weren't open because the scheme sucked. Another thing, I don't know what Sean Desai was smoking before he was calling plays in this game, but there were multiple plays that were broken off for huge yardage by the 49ers offense where I literally was watching the play and in my head I just said, oh, it's going to him. This is that play where it's going to him. No clocks, no nothing. I didn't know the exact play that was coming, but even I could see that where a receiver was going to be and who Purdy was going to throw it to. I could see that, so why could a professional coach not? Doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Yeah, the speed of release. Oh, I will say, one really big highlight for the Eagles defense, the safety play was actually pretty fucking good. He was always in the spot that he was supposed to be in. He didn't blow any assignments in this game. Good job. Good on you, Eagles safety, but we need more from everyone else. So this also exposed another thing that I think is a big issue. The Eagles don't have speed on their offense. They don't have any speed at all. Like A.J. Brown is a big man, so he's not fast. Dallas Goedert, when he's in again, he's not fast, he's big. Devonta Smith is more of a finesse guy just because he has really good footwork and really good route running skills. But I don't think he's really going to torch anybody. Like, he's not fast. We need a Deshaun Jackson. We need somebody fast. We need a Tyreek Hill. We need a Devonta Adams. We need somebody fast. We need a Puka Nacua, a Cooper Kupp. Somebody quick. Even if they're not good. I don't care. Just get somebody quick. It really exposed that for me. Let's see. What else do I got here? Yes. So another thing, and I just complimented the 49ers defense for having this. The Eagles had no jump routes installed in their scheme on defense. None. They didn't have any. I didn't see one play where the middle linebacker or an outside linebacker jumped a route. Not even once. Didn't happen. The middle linebacker was horrible. Like, you could almost hang the game on the middle linebacker. That's how bad the play was. Because they were able to just throw it right at him. Every single play, just boop, 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 right in the middle of the field. Every single time. Just like plucking teeth. It was abysmal. However, I am still optimistic. I think that with Dallas Goedert coming back, it's going to make it so that the Eagles can add a huge amount of complexity back to their offense. Because like I said earlier, I think that a big problem in this game with the scheme is that Jalen Hurts has no faith in that third string tight end. And I think that Goddard coming back and potentially Zach Ertz being signed, who knows where that's going to go, but I've heard rumors that he might be coming back to Philadelphia as the backup, which would be great because he is one of the best pass blocking tight ends I've ever seen. He's amazing at it. The tag team of him and Goddard would be pretty sick to add to this offense right now, just simply because they'd have to cover an extra guy. They didn't even have to cover this backup tight end because he's not good. So once Goddard comes back, I think they'll be able to add a lot of complexity. By the time a receiver is ever even open in this offensive scheme, Jalen's already running for his life. So adding Dallas Goedert back or Zach Ertz back into this offense is going to really make it so that he can have more options. And it's going to split defenses up more. And to conclude my essay on why the Eagles lost and how bad their defense and offense are and why the coordinators need to take a lesson in the film room and actually pay attention for once instead of falling asleep during film review, is that this is just a hiccup for the Eagles, not a deciding event on the season. I think they're going to go in and slap around the Cowboys. I don't think it's going to be even close. And especially with Shaq Leonard being added to the team, I think that they're going to slap the shit out of the Cowboys, especially on defense. So yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm so confident I'm even willing to lock in my prediction. It's going to be a 35-28 game, Eagles. I silenced you for a while here, Marky. What do you got for me?
On the Eagles, I mean, I can't really say much.
Don't you argue with my film analysis, boy.
like the biggest
Oh God.
The biggest thing, we've been saying it all year. The coaching. We have
so bad. It's so bad.
We have a star-studded team. Sure, we may not have the fastest. We may not have the fastest guys. We may not have the strongest guys or whatever. But we have weapons. And when the coaching is good, we're 2022 again. The first quarter, San Francisco had negative yards on the first quarter. That was beautiful. They were playing like the NFC champions they were last season.
That was the 49ers' fault, not the Eagles' profit. The Eagles weren't calling really good plays and playing really good defense there. The 49ers were just warming up and playing really shit offense. The 49ers had a plan coming into that game, and I guarantee you that all of the plays that failed were scripted plays that they had written up before the game even started. And that's why they sucked ass. The second that they saw what was happening, they made tiny adjustments by throwing it over the middle of the field instead, where the Eagles have absolutely no chance of stopping them because Sean Desai cannot dial up a blitz or teach his middle linebackers how to wrap their arms around players. So it was less a benefit of the Eagles having really good defensive play for the first quarter and more that the 49ers just were warming up. It was a chess match and we fucking lost.
Yeah. No, our coaches got beat. That's simple.
Yeah. And another thing.
And
Oh, God. I am sick and tired of hearing about how Sirianni is like a wide receiver whisperer. He's like the king of wide receivers. And then this motherfucker cannot teach his goddamn coordinator how to draw up routes for his receivers that will make them open. Would it kill the Eagles to run a mesh play? Would it kill them? Would it kill them to layer receivers? Oh, just one play. I want to see it once. One time. Once. It's just like, dude, Brian Johnson just has this idea of what he wants to see on the field happen, and it never fucking happens, and he doesn't have another layer of thinking to adjust to. He has one style of play calling, and that's it. And if I don't see a change in play calling going into this Cowboys game, when he has Dallas Goedert back, when he potentially has Zach Ertz coming in, I don't want to hear any excuses for Brian Johnson at all. Not one. Because he needs to change the way that he's calling plays. This looks like an offense from the 1920s. I've had enough of it. Sirianni, coach your receivers. I know you're supposed to be a wide receiver whisperer. Do it. Or at least teach your coordinator how to do it. Isn't that your job as head coach, is to teach the coordinators what they should be teaching the players? It's time for me to do what Philadelphia Eagles fans do best. Complain about the one loss of the season. Well, I guess 2 losses, but one real loss.
One loss.
You know, if you had told me, Marcus, at the beginning of this season that the game that would loom large at the end of the year would have been the Jets game that we lose, I would have slapped you in the face. Why didn't we beat the Jets? We wouldn't be in this situation. Nobody would even be talking about maybe taking the conference from us. I'm really upset about the way that the Eagles performed. But you know what? The biggest thing that I will say that has disappointed me the absolute most about this loss to the 49ers is my fellow Eagles fans acting like little baby bitches about it. We sat here and criticized 49ers fans all year for being little baby bitches about losing the NFC Championship game and whining and crying. And they did. They bitched way too fucking much. But then the second that we lose to the 49ers in this game, I legitimately heard the other day, a caller on our local radio show, I heard this motherfucker try to say that this was a scheduled loss. They lost to the 49ers on purpose. This man was huffing so much copium, his cranium was expanding. It was so insane. I don't understand. Just accept it. You lost. We lost. We sucked the cock. It was bad. We got spanked in primetime television on a Sunday night, and we were the worst team that night. Still 10-2.
Yeah. Man.
Dude, this whole illusion that we're the best team in the entire league is going to really dissolve quick if we lose to the Cowboys and now we're 5th place in the NFC.
Yeah.
It's going to really dissolve real fast.
Yeah, and like,
because let me make this very clear. The 49ers are going to win the rest of their games this season. There is nobody except maybe the Ravens. They might lose one to the Ravens for the rest of the season. But honestly, even then, I don't see the 49ers losing to the Ravens. I think they're going to clobber them just like they clobber everybody else that they play when they're fully healthy. Ravens, please injure someone on your way out. Please. That's all I ask.
Talking about the Ravens, they're playing Seattle this weekend.
Yeah, I think they're gonna clobber them. I don't know how else to put it.
I think they're gonna clobber them too. I'm saying Seattle start injuring people.
Yeah, go Seattle, go! Dude,
Like,
no, I am rooting for all the birds.
I got obviously, I we need Seattle and Arizona to injure some people if we want the Ravens to have the best
Dude, it's
chance
so
of beating
sad to
them.
me how we went from being, yeah, we're the best team in the entire league, not even close to, somebody please injure a 49er, any of them. It's kind of some pussy shit, I'm not gonna lie. Don't injure them, we'll win anyway in the playoffs. Fuck you.
I love your confidence, but like I
Scheduled loss.
I'm not gonna say scheduled loss.
Dude, that was just so much copium. I had to point it out. I had to talk about it because
Sure,
I have trauma from listening to that much copium.
Sure. The thing is, like, I just it I just don't see the play calling changing. And if
I mean, maybe a loss is what they needed to get it into his big bonehead.
maybe, but we lost to the Jets, and the offense didn't really change all that much.
That's not true. It did change.
So I mean, I didn't watch films. I don't know.
Well,
But
it did change. It got much better the next week. You know what they changed? They ran the fucking ball. Do you know how many
Yeah.
total rushes that we had, like total rushing carries the Eagles had in this game against the 49ers? Total.
I think it was like
11. There were
Yeah.
11.
like
11.
Yeah, and I don't know what they were doing,
Brr.
not running the ball.
They just
Like-
never run the ball. It's like the second that they have even the slightest amount of struggle, like they're down by a couple points, they just completely abandon it. The run is over. Yeah, so
I don't
they
think
they
that's-
chose to throw the ball. They chose to throw the ball 48 times to and I was wrong about the 11 rushes, it seems. Well, so 6. So for the actual running backs, there was 9 carries in this game. To get higher than that, you have to throw in Mariota and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts having more rushing carries than our running backs, by the way.
Yeah. So
I don't know who drew that idea up. By the way, Marcus Mariota in his 2 carries has the highest average yard gain of any of our running backs in that game. And this is the thing that really pisses me off. The 49ers are weak to the run in the middle. Why did we not run the ball? Why was that not part of the game plan?
I don't know.
They're soft in the middle when you run it on them. They're good at the pass in the middle, but they're not as good at the run in the middle. They're good at the run on the outsides because you have Bosa and the other man that you run into.
I don't know.
It just doesn't make any sense, especially when you have the best O-line in football. Potentially one of the best O-lines in any season of football ever. And you're not going to run the ball behind them. It just doesn't make any sense. It boggles the mind.
Yeah.
And honestly, this is kind of it reignites the concerns that I've had even last season, where Sirianni just abandons the run. He just doesn't believe in running the ball. He goes behind by 3 points and just completely abandons running the ball, handing it off. Where are the RPOs that confuse defenses? Where is running it out of the shotgun? Where are the jet sweeps that they run with Deebo Samuel, for example? Where are all these creative plays? The Eagles just don't have them. They're dude. Here, look, listen. This right here, this bag of cheese puffs, is about as deep as the Eagles' offensive playbook goes. And I can't even fit my whole arm in that bitch. I mean, I get that I'm complaining a lot about a team that's 10-2, but for real, they need to make adjustments now because if they lose this game to the Cowboys, and I have to complain again about the goddamn motherfucking defense and offense on this team, I might jump ship. Eagles ain't doing shit this year if they don't beat the Cowboys this week.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Like, because quite frankly, the 49ers ain't going to lose any of their games for the rest of the season, except maybe the Ravens win. The Eagles, they have to win every single game for the rest of the season now.
I mean, which isn't that hard. We have 2 games against the Giants.
It's not about it being hard, Mark. If you remember a few weeks ago on this very podcast, we were talking about how we're a little bit older, a little bit slower, a little bit more in need of rest. We can't bench the starters in the last week of football now.
No. Well, unless the offense
It's not going to happen.
unless the offense really changes and we go up.
We're not going to
21
go up. The
points.
49ers are going to win every single game for the rest of the season.
Talking about 21 points in the last Giant.
Oh, well then, nah, you still can't sit your starters if the conference seed, if the number 1 seed is on the line, you can't sit your starters.
Sure.
Like, we need, dude. All right, Ravens, I'm handing it off to you, please, for the love of God. Just win one goddamn game. That's all I ask. Watch the Seahawks fucking cap them.
Go Birds.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks sneak a win out of them here and it's like a trap game situation. And the reason I say that is because the 49ers are coming off of their version of the Super Bowl right now after beating the Eagles in a revenge match. I could easily see them letting off the gas pedal a little bit and fucking it up and losing to the Seahawks in a surprise fashion. That being said, I'm betting on the 49ers. All right. Do you have anything else to say about that horrific, pathetic performance that we were served on Sunday by the Philadelphia Eagles?
No.
All right.
Get the play calling better and tackle.
Run the ball sometimes.
Run the ball. Yeah.
And I'm not talking about first down every single drive. For some reason, you only ever run the ball on first down. Maybe run it in a 2nd and 5 situation once or twice. Maybe throw a few short passes out there every now and then. That's all I'm asking. No screens. Short passes. Just like I want to see the tight. So this is your line. I want to see the tight end go whoop, like this and catch the ball right here and then go up the field and turn it in for a first down. That's all I want to see. Just a few short passes mixed in there. That's all I want. And if they're stacking the box to prevent a short pass, go deep. I just want to see you layer the receivers better. That's all I want to see because they are all at the same distance right now. All right, let's move on. So what's your first topic of the night?
A quick and easy one, a sort of refresher, if you will. The worst game of the season.
38 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck the Eagles.
The worst game of the season. The Chargers at Gillette Stadium.
Oh, no. We don't have to talk about that.
No,
There's nothing to talk about, honestly.
There is nothing to talk about except for one thing.
What?
ESPN says that stadium was filled to capacity.
Really?
They said it was 100%.
All right, at the start of the
filled.
game. But how about at halftime?
That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to find numbers, but I
They won't report that. They won't tell you. Just go watch it at the first snap of halftime. Look in the background and see if there's any fans in the audience. Because, dude, 11 punts in the first half.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm just saying, like, seriously, who really wanted to go? If you're a season ticket holder and you made that mistake, sure, understandable.
No.
But others?
It's not understandable. You could have sold that ticket to someone. Why do Patriots fans still show up to games?
Bro.
Like, I couldn't even. Dude, wait. The Panthers might pass up the Patriots this season. The Patriots might end the season as the single worst team in football.
Well,
even I gave them at least 5 wins.
So if we look at the Panthers' schedule, right? They need one win in order to at least tie.
Yeah, and they have a bunch of bogus like ops for the rest of the season.
They have the Saints this weekend. They have the Falcons after
They
that.
could win that. They could win that.
Packers not gonna win that.
They're not gonna win that.
The Jaguars also.
They're not gonna.
If
Well, if Trevor
T-Law,
Lawrence is still injured,
if T-Law is still out, then
it becomes a possibility. But they still won't.
and then the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
So
Two.
Carolina, you're already eliminated from playoff contention. You have.
Are they actually now?
Yeah, they are.
They can't even win their own division if they win the rest of the season and the Falcons lose everything?
ESPN already says that they're eliminated.
Oh, shit. They may as well just put in the backups.
Carolina, you have 2 games to tie or beat the Patriots.
I'm just saying the rest of the season, the Patriots have pretty tough matchups. They have the Steelers, then Chiefs, then Broncos, then Bills, then Jets.
Sure, but I mean,
dude, the Panthers might be able to beat the Patriots.
You need to win these next 2 games because they're the only.
Dude, what
2 games
happened to
you're
the
gonna
Bills?
win.
By the way, they fell off.
Yeah, who cares about?
Yeah, for real. Who gives a fuck about the Bills anymore?
Who cares about a broken franchise with a trash QB?
Poverty franchise.
Poor Josh Allen. Man, couldn't fuck.
He really is a superhero on it. He is really dancing with himself.
Yeah. You have to win these next 2 games if you want to be better than the Patriots. So try that. I don't have faith, but if you can put the Patriots under the ground somehow by being 11
somehow
1-11 at week 13, best team in football.
Yeah, honestly. They just need to beat the Patriots at this point, and I'll be satisfied. But then again, Marcus, do you really want someone in your division having first pick next season? Anyway, something that I'm glad you brought up that game because there is something that I need to talk about. Quentin Johnson is god-awful. I don't know if you've seen any of his highlights or I should say lowlights this season, but Quentin Johnson was their first-round pick.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
He's a receiver for the Chargers.
I see.
I have never seen a man drop passes like this guy. Like honestly, if I was Justin Herbert, I would just demand him get cut. Like he's that bad. I know it's his first season and he's a rookie, but Jesus fucking Christ, Quentin Johnston drops a lot of footballs. Like, dude, I have better hands than this motherfucker. I literally watched the man. He was just running. The ball was right here, and it hits right perfect in his hands. And then he bobbles it 3 times, and it just falls out of bounds. Dude, he had the ball. I'll show you that highlight, Marcus, if I get the chance to show it to you. But, dude, he is horrible. Like, they need to dump him fast. He looks like Jalen Reagor. That's who he reminds me of. Do you remember Jalen Reagor, Mark? The former Eagle receiver? No. You might have not been up here yet. He was a first-round wide receiver pick by the Eagles a few years ago, and we released him because he was just too awful. He looked like a gremlin, too. He looked like he would steal a child's candy, and he couldn't even catch a football. So I don't think kids have anything to worry about. You can rest easy tonight. So are you good on the Chargers and Patriots?
Yeah, that's done.
All right. I just want to take a second to reopen the trial of Zach Wilson. That's my gavel. I've reopened the trial. He is officially my second favorite quarterback in all of football. He is a fucking gangster. So I don't know if you know this or not, Mark. Do you know what he's been doing this past week?
No, I did hear that some docs got leaked from the organization itself.
I don't know about any docs being leaked, but so on Sunday before the game, Coach Salad went to Zach Wilson and asked him to start again. He said, "I'm putting you back in as the starter. You're the better quarterback. We got to start you." And Zach Wilson said, "No, actually, I'm good. Start him." I'm not doing it.
Oh.
He said, "Fuck you, stick it up your ass. You're a dickhead. Fuck you for benching me." And then Aaron Rodgers went over to him and said, "Hey man, maybe you should like go in there, dude. I'm just saying." And he said, "Nah." They literally have video of him on the sideline and Rodgers is asking that, and he goes, "Nah."
Okay. I see.
He is a gangster. I love him. I love Zach Wilson. Second best quarterback in football, right behind Jalen Hurts.
I mean, yeah. Why
Please,
did you?
please, please, Jets, send him to another team with good coaches. I want to see. So there's a couple of teams that I have selected that I would want to see Zach Wilson go to. Saints is a choice. Raiders are a choice. And the Broncos are a choice. Just saying, Russell Wilson's getting up there. He's probably going to retire soon. You might want to start having him coach up a new quarterback to a successor. Zach Wilson has some raw physical talent. You might want to shore up the lines there. I mean, but I do think the best fit for him would probably be the Saints because they already run a 2 quarterback package anyway with Taysom Hill and the Zodiac Killer, Derek Carr, and I think that he would be a good replacement for Derek Carr, and he couldn't possibly be worse. Plus, he's younger, and he's not going to be the Zodiac Killer, so you already got that going for you. But yeah, I think he would be a good fit on any of those 3 teams. Are there any teams that you can think of off the top of your head where he might be a good fit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand
The
football well enough.
Vikings. He might do well on the Vikings. I mean, Kirk Cousins is probably done.
Who knows? Like, I mean, I just don't understand football well enough to even consider like where someone could go. Like, what would be best for them?
Just think of who has shit quarterbacks and could benefit from a new one.
Panthers.
No. So you're saying that now. I actually want to open this up because everybody has been clowning on that young man, including yours truly, all season. I think next season Bryce Young is going to come out guns firing.
I mean, he could sure he could. Maybe they fix themselves.
Though I will
up
say,
in the
C.J.
offseason.
Stroud is looking like the steal of the draft. He's the pick of the litter, man.
Speaking of CJ Stroud, like I had some
He's a
notes.
wizard.
I had some notes on the game this past weekend, right?
Okay, well, I'm done on Zach Wilson, so you can move on to C.J. Stroud.
Okay, so first off, let's just say the Texans have ended the ride.
Dude, I would kiss C.J. Stroud on the mouth if I had the chance. I'm just.
All right, calm down.
I love that guy. He sure can throw a football.
The cavalry charge has been defeated. Fortunately,
Rocco's country, let's die. 3 interceptions from Russell Wilson in that game, dude.
I know.
It's rough. It's rough. I was rooting for the Broncos, not gonna lie. No, I'm just fucking with you. Dude, I glaze so fucking hard for the Texans.
Yeah. But anyway, let's think about it like this.
This is all jokes, by the way, people. I'm just kidding.
Let's think about it like this, right? 2020, Texans were 4-13. 2021, 4-13. 2022, 3-13-1. This was a poverty.
Oh yeah, the most impoverished of franchises.
Poverty.
Literally, no one was even going to the games anymore, dude.
They pick up CJ Stroud, and now they are 7-5.
Yeah, great team.
Attributed that you could just say is, oh, he's a rookie, whatever, and that the O-line doesn't protect him. Which
they don't.
True. Which is true. But honestly,
he's made it work.
honestly, if anybody should get the MVP, not should get the MVP, it should be him.
It ain't gonna be him.
He's taken a poverty franchise and made it somewhat respectable.
Nah.
I
He ain't
I'm
even gonna be in the nominations.
I
His name
understand
isn't
that.
Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson. He has no chance.
Well, do you want to know who ESPN has in the conversation?
CMC,
They have CMC.
Debo.
So they have Stroud, they have Tyreek.
Really?
Yeah, they have Stroud in the
At
conversation.
what number?
It's blocked behind a paywall. Like,
Oh, that's so fucking dumb.
I mean, you have ESPN Plus, don't you? You could
Hell
probably read it.
no.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I got
Whatever.
NFL Plus.
Okay. Anyway, CJ Stroud, Tyreek Hill, Dak Prescott, whatever. CMC, Jason Kelsey,
Hell yeah.
obvious reasons. TJ Watt,
Oh, well, I mean, he deserves it.
Trent Williams, another fucking
Eh.
49er, whatever. Deron Bland, another Cowboy, whatever.
Hold up. He's good though.
Sure, but he's a Cowboy, so props. Anyway.
I don't care.
And then this random ass guy from the Falcons, I think he called Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates a third.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
on the Falcons.
Yeah.
Safety.
Yeah. He's pretty good. He's not random. He's pretty good.
I mean, I thought it was random because it's like quality, like.
Dude, I don't
quote-unquote
think that
quality.
anybody other than a quarterback has won MVP in like 20 years.
Yeah, I
think the last time was in the 80s.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know if the article goes deeper into it, but Debo Samuels and Brock Purdy aren't in this conversation. I don't know if
Well,
these are.
he's Mr. Irrelevant. He has that stigma now. He's going to need to win at least 2 Super Bowls before people think he's worth having. Yeah, like, there's a certain stigma that you have to overcome. This is something that pisses me off about MVP awards in the NFL. It's a total popularity contest. It is just 105% about who is the most popular politically in the NFL. Like, it is totally a political game.
Mm-hmm.
Who can get the most clout going? Because, honestly, the fact that he isn't in the conversation is total fucking bullshit. Because he has one... I'm willing to say that he's played the best of any quarterback in the league. Him and CJ Stroud.
This year, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
in the league this year, yeah. He's done fantastic, but he gained the title of Mr. Irrelevant. Got injured in the playoffs when the team needed him the most. So now he's just barred from the MVP conversation, and it's fucking dumb. He just needs to get more clout. He doesn't have the clout to become an MVP right now.
Yeah, I would really like it if to CJ. Obviously,
he's gonna get. I guarantee you, he gets Rookie of the Year.
Oh, absolutely. I don't question about
guarantee
that.
it. Though I will say, his receiver, Nico Collins, is making him look real good. Making some circus catches out there. 191 yards and a touchdown on 9 carries. How do you catch the ball 9 times for 191 yards? He had an average of 21.2 yards per catch. This man is a touchdown machine.
And speaking of good wide receivers, Tyreek.
Yeah. Even a Dolphins fan to insert Tyreek Hill in every fucking conversation he has about football. Oh.
Well, this is what.
Oh,
this is where I'm taking this conversation. This is where I'm taking this conversation. All right, Miami Commanders this past week. All right.
Oh God.
They win by 30 points. Miami does. All right. I mean, obviously, Commanders just suck. The worst team in the NFC East. Garbage poverty. Um,
The worst team outside of the NFC South.
yeah, honestly. And
Even the
so
Giants beat them.
this is something that I messaged to Tom earlier
Oh
today.
no.
ESPN has the Dolphins ranked number 3
I would.
overall in the power rank,
I
and
would.
you agree with that. You agree with that. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, isn't this a case of the Cowboys syndrome, feasting on weak
No.
teams? Why not?
Because it's not feasting on weak teams when you beat a team 70-20. It's not feasting on weak teams when you destroy someone 42-21. It's not feasting on weak teams when you absolutely fucking dominate people. It's not feasting on weak teams. And unlike the Cowboys, they've actually played teams that are over 500.
Yeah.
The Broncos are over 500, or they're at 500. The Bills are at 500, even though they've lost to the Bills. They've beaten teams that have a 500 or plus record. So yeah, no, it's not the same thing. The Cowboys are dog shit in comparison to the Dolphins, and they're going to prove it in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I think that the Cowboys have literally zero answers for the Dolphins. Zero. They're going to make them look like fucking clowns.
Yeah, when they play each other in 3 weeks, that's going to be my game of the week. Absolutely. Just gotta. I'm gonna throw that out now.
Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows?
Ravens 49ers is happening that week.
Shut up. And
And Lions Vikings with playoff implications. I gotta say though, those are the top 2 games: is Cowboys Dolphins and Ravens 49. Because I mean, the Eagles are playing the Giants.
there's no other game aside from Cowboys. Anyway,
Fuck off.
Let's see. What other games do we have here? We have.
Well, hold on. I got a whole bunch of stuff left to talk
Oh,
about. Let's
okay.
jump to my next point really quick.
All right.
The Broncos might actually make it to the playoffs.
Broncos country, let's ride.
I almost want to see the Broncos have a rematch against the Dolphins in the AFC Championship. Wouldn't that be something? The team everyone was taking a shit on goes to the AFC Championship game.
It would be really good.
That'd be something. And then they flip the script and they win 70-20 this time.
No.
That's too much. You don't want Broncos country to ride anymore?
If it's against the Dolphins, no.
Oh, Marky, you betray yourself, young one.
No, I don't.
I think that this might be the Dolphins' year.
I'm first and foremost a Dolphins fan over the Broncos.
I would hope so.
But
I think this might be the Dolphins' year. I actually think they're gonna beat out the Ravens and they're going to the Super Bowl, I think. I think they had a hiccup when they played the Eagles.
If that's true, fins up.
Oh yeah? Against the Eagles in the Super Bowl that we're going to?
I mean, hey, if the Dolphins can make it to the Super Bowl, of course I want them to get there.
I'm just saying the playoffs are going to start. The 49ers and the Lions are going to play each other, and the Lions are going to win.
Hopefully.
Or, dude, what if the Falcons play the 49ers and the Falcons win?
That's not going to happen.
I know. I haven't looked at the scrungulus in a little bit here. Here, hold on.
Well, the problem is that the division leaders don't play each other. in the first round.
Yeah, I know, but if things get shaken up, it's still possible for the Falcons to end up against the 49ers. They would have to fall to 7th, and the Eagles would
Yeah,
need to maintain their place.
yeah, that's exactly how it would have to happen.
Well, they can't fall to 7th because they're going to win their division.
Yeah,
It's going to probably be Falcons against the Cowboys.
yep.
Dude, can the Falcons beat the Cowboys and then we have to play the Falcons? That'd be great.
It's the only we're probably gonna have to face the Cowboys either way. I think. I don't think. I
It
don't
just
think.
depends.
I don't think whether we have the first seed or we just win the division, we have to face
Well,
either
hold
way.
on. The Cowboys could fall to the 6th seed. And then they get beat by the Lions.
Maybe.
I'm just saying it could happen. I don't think it's likely.
Yeah, I don't see them like falling any further than 4th.
I don't know. It really depends. I've seen some crazy shit happen near playoff time, dude.
I know, but
There's still what, 4 weeks left?
5. I mean, I guess if you count this upcoming Sunday. Yeah, counting this upcoming Sunday, yeah, there is still 5 left. 5 games left.
Yeah. So they could easily get overtaken by somebody. Like the Seahawks, perhaps?
Who knows?
It's time for the Seahawks to start the losing streak against the 49ers here. Dude, they're number 1 top op right now. Like, dude, just
Yeah.
knock them off. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the only game of the season I wanted the Eagles to win. Singular. If they had gone 1-17 on this season, but beaten the 49ers, I would have been satisfied just to shut their mouths.
Yeah.
But no, they couldn't do that. And the thing that sucks is this season probably marks the end of the championship window for the Eagles because a lot of their players are going to retire.
Yeah.
Oh, I have another thing that I wanted to talk about, and I found this particularly offensive and fucking stupid. So Trevor Lawrence injures his ankle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they bring out a cart for him? He has an ankle injury. He's the biggest asset on the entire team. Literally turned your poverty franchise into something worth watching. And you won't even cart him off the field when he has an ankle injury. What if while walking off the field, he hurt it worse? Are you just going to play it by ear? That's pathetic. That's disturbing. That's fucking stupid. It's offensive. I'm offended that you didn't give him a cart to take him off the field. That's just dumb. I don't understand. Protect your assets. And in other news, the Bengals win huge! Hell yeah, the Bengals are at over 500 team now. Woo, baby!
Oh man.
All right. Let's talk power rankings.
Okay.
You can go first. I'll allow you to be wrong first before I correct you.
It hurts to say it.
Go ahead, be wrong.
49ers, Eagles, Dolphins, Ravens, Cowboys.
Oh, man. Eagles, Niners, Dolphins, Lions, Ravens, Chiefs, Jags, Cowboys.
I didn't realize we were doing so many. I might have changed things up a bit.
Oh, I was just rattling off the ones that I thought of. I really do think that the Cowboys are a total glass tiger. Like, even if they beat the Eagles this week, I don't care. They're still not good. Dallas sucks, as we
Yeah.
always like to say on this podcast. All right, Marky. So winding up here, do you have any more points before we continue?
Eagles do better.
Yeah, for real.
That's it. You've had
Don't worry, Marky. I had a
It's
40-minute rant about it.
I know, but it's been 13 weeks. 13 or 14 weeks rather. No, 13. What am I saying?
13. It's 13 weeks.
I know. 13 weeks. I have been a fan for 2 years. Remind me why I actually liked you guys last year.
It's because I told you to.
It doesn't have to be complete blowout. It doesn't have to be
Just beat the Cowboys. Just beat the Cowboys.
It doesn't
Just
have to
please,
be
please beat the
anything.
Cowboys. God.
Beat the Cowboys and be a complete team.
No, I don't care if you're a complete team. If you dominate on one side of the ball this week, I'll be satisfied. I want to see. It's like the meme of the dude poking the dead thing with a stick, and he goes, "Come on, do something." That's what I'm doing right now. Please, come on, do something.
That's it. Be better.
So, what's your game of the week?
Fuck.
I think there's a lot of good games.
Let's see.
Like, it's kind of hard for me to pick a bad game out of this lineup.
Well, I can tell you what's a bad game.
What?
It's easy. New England and Pittsburgh.
Nah, the Steelers can't score any points. It doesn't matter who they play against. It'll be a close game no matter what. Well, I guess that doesn't mean it's going to be a good game, but you see my point, right? There's a lot of good games. I think the Jets beat the Titans, or the Texans, I mean.
No.
Yeah, I think they do.
With Zach Wilson, maybe.
They're not going to play. Zach Wilson is refusing to play. They're going to need to suck his dick.
If it's what's this backup? Boyle?
Tim Boyle.
Yeah. He doesn't beat CJ.
I don't care if he beats CJ Stroud. He's going to beat their defense, not their offense, you stupid.
Shut up. Anyway, I
think the Jets defense is just really good and they're going to shut it down.
we have LA.
Jets, Jets.
Shut up. We have LA and Baltimore.
Yeah. Just the games of the week, Marky.
I know.
All right, I'll do mine really quick. So, the Eagles, Cowboys, the Seahawks, Niners, the Lions, Bears, and the Bills, Chiefs are all games that I'm going to be doing film review of and watching live. Those are 4 good-ass football games. Top level.
I'll just copy you because I don't think anything else here.
Well, Jaguars, Browns is going to be good. Buccaneers, Falcons will probably be good.
With the backup quarterback in Jacksonville?
Buccaneers, Falcons?
With the backup.
Oh, the Jaguars, Browns. Yeah, of course. That's going to be great.
Okay.
If there's even a backup playing, you don't know. T-Law could jump in there. And this is going to sound strange. I think the Packers-Giants is going to be a really good game. Now, hear me out on this one. Daniel Jones makes a comeback this week against the Packers. He's going to be trying to make a statement and fight for his job. He's going to be extremely motivated to perform.
Is he gonna do you really think he's gonna start?
Yeah.
No. No, he's not.
He's not
Brian
listed as the starter?
Dable says Tommy DeVito will start in week 14.
Well, that might be that he was too injured at the time he said that.
This was 6 hours ago.
What? Well, that's news to me. I was under the impression Jones was playing.
Yep. Dable
You're
says
right.
Dable says Tommy earned it.
Tommy's done a good job. He's improved each of the games he's played. Dude, the pizza pie zone is coming in. Oh, I was just wrong. Daniel Jones is just out for the rest of the season with his torn ACL. I thought he came back this week. I guess I was just wrong.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's still going to be a good ass football game just because of the pizza paisano. I want so badly to see Tommy DeVito win, just because he's such a clown. He's so funny. Oh, and also I did want to talk about some key things in the Eagles-Cowboys game coming up, because I did film review on the Cowboys versus Seahawks game as well. Not as in-depth as my Eagles 49ers review, of course. But something that I did notice about the Cowboys, they are really weak in the middle on defense. And as much as it pains me to say this, and this is going to hurt everyone's feelings, the Cowboys and Eagles really are not all that different from one another. Like on the field. Like, we run a similar scheme, we run a similar offense. We have much better players, I think, and we're much better at executing the plan. But in all reality, we're not all that different on the field. Both teams are weak in the middle on defense. They're missing a middle linebacker that makes things really difficult for them. All of their strength is up front in the trenches on both sides of the ball. And they have one big man receiver who catches all the fucking balls. It sounds familiar, I'm expecting. They're just very similar. So I think that if the Eagles want to win, they're going to take huge advantage of Dallas Goedert being back to clean up the middle of the field, or to clean up in the middle of the field on offense. And I think that Shaq Leonard is going to come out and make a statement game, because he had the choice of signing with the Cowboys or the Eagles. He's motivated to demonstrate that his decision was the correct one. I think he's going to come out and light the joint up. Did you know that in one season, that man had 111 solo tackles by himself? Do you know what his nickname is?
No.
His nickname is the Maniac. I'm ready to see this guy get maniacal. I'm ready. What's the Thursday night? Oh, God. Honestly, we might not do Thursday night football this week. We might cover Dolphins Titans instead, because that's just abysmal. Oh yeah, this is the first week of the season with 2 Monday night games.
Yep.
Hey, the Pizza Pie Zone. Packers Giants and Titans Dolphins. They're both playing on Sunday or Monday night. When do we get a Friday game at all this year? The week after is the first Saturday games. Where are the Eagles at that week? We got flexed to Monday. That's the Seahawks game. Sunday at 4:30. December 31st at 1 p.m., baby. God, that's going to be beautiful. Wait, New Year's Day is in the week this year, right? Yeah, thank fuck. So glad I get off that day. Dude, I took off already from the 26th to the 29th. I have that whole Christmas week off. From the 23rd all the way to January 2nd, I'm off. I am gonna love it. All right. I think that's about all we got for the Fumble forecast. Do you have anything else to add, Marky?
Nope.
Yeah, me neither. I think we're gonna wrap it up here by saying go Birds, Dallas sucks. Hit him in the middle, hit him hard, hit him fast, and make sure that Dak Prescott can't release the ball quickly, and you'll win. You'll just win. Just trust me on this one. And layer your receivers in this game, please. Please make use of Dallas Goedert because he is coming back this week, right?
Don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's coming back this week. Whoa! I didn't know this. This is 2 hours ago. Breaking news from Sports Illustrated. Apparently, it's been leaked that Jerry Jones is planning on firing Mike McCarthy at the end of the year and promoting Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator, to the head coach position.
Oh.
Not gonna lie, that actually kind of frightens me a little bit. Dan Quinn is a good coach. Sure, he coughed up the Super Bowl that he was in at the last half, but against the Patriots in the greatest Super Bowl comeback ever. But he's a good-ass coach. I don't know. That would kind of concern me. Please, for the love of God, keep Mike McCarthy. I'm begging you, Jerry Jones. But yeah, I don't see it here. Hold on. Where? I'm just gonna do Dallas Goedert and see if
Yeah, he's planning on going.
he plans to play this week according to NBC Sports. All right, sweet. Awesome. If he was in against the San Francisco 49ers, it might have been a slightly different game. Damn, dude, he's about to turn 29. How the fuck is he so old? When the fuck was he drafted? What? I'm having like a midlife crisis here, dude. He's not that old, I swear. In 2018, he joined the team. I thought he was like 25. He's the same age as me. Oh.
Oh, no.
All right, we're going to end it here. Thanks for joining us on the Fumble Forecast. Remember to hit that follow button. Remember to hit that subscribe button. Check us out anywhere that you get your podcasts. And tell a friend. Tell a friend who likes football and hates the Cowboys to come and watch our podcast. And even if he likes the podcast, or even if he likes the Cowboys, tell him to come watch anyway so that we can give him a dose of what reality feels like. Have a nice night, guys. We'll catch you next week. Bye, everyone.